Good morning. My name is Shanna. Welcome to my channel. I'm not a blue ribbon quilter. My focus is on keeping people warm. I want to make a quilt that's sturdy and warm as quickly as possible. So, good morning, y'all. I feel like I have given you more apologies this year than I have content, but I'm going to go to work and try to fix that for you. Warning, this is a long video. I have so many projects. My brain has just been swirling. This year has been crazy with sickness and just, it's just been one thing after another. Praise God, I survived the shingles. Right in the middle of the shingles, I had a bad bout of sciatica that was so bad that even my primary care team, we all thought I needed knee replacement surgery. So, with a lot of prayer and some lifestyle changes, um, God just put an end to the sciatica. My knee, it's old, but it's fine. I don't need a bionic knee. Thank you, God. So, anyway, good news. There's a kiss and a slap, and then another kiss and another slap. So, that's life on planet Earth. Um, what I have for you, I have 4 different projects that are coming up. And I'm going to talk about each one this morning. We're actually going to do one this morning. But it'll be separate videos for each one. And as they roll around and I get the videos made, I'll have all the links in the description for, parts and patterns and whatever you need. So today it's just a run through of what is coming up next. So here's the French rose. Y'all saw me in my last video do a sample so that I could get an idea of how I wanted to, lay it out and quilt it and all of that sort of thing. So with a lot of thought and head scratching, I have decided, since this is going to be a rag quilt, I'm just going to sandwich my top, my background, my flannel, and my backing, and do the traditional X. Then I'll put my flower on and my leaves and stitch around them. So what I'm probably going to do is use the glue stick and just put a dab back here just to hold this stuff still. And so that's how that's going to work. And then all of the leaves have heat and bond. So I can have my little iron in close proximity and just press these down, then do my stitching. So there's that. That's coming up in the days and weeks ahead. So take note of that. Okay, we're going to slide that out of the way. Now, I have gotten super excited. This is a crazy quilt scrappy template that is available on Amazon for $9.99. The link will be in the description. And I am crazy about this. My scraps are totally out of control. Y'all, they're out of control. I did take the time to bag a monstrous box by color. So I just separated everything and bag them by color. That helps a lot. But what is so awesome about this is that if you make sure you put a really good sticky on the back, the silicone little circles, or Handy Quilter makes a thing called Handy Grip that's like sandpaper, a real coarse sandpaper. It doesn't hurt your fabric, but man, it makes these rulers just suck down. And so you can just use a rotating cutting mat and just do a whole big old stack of a big old stack of B. They don't have to be alike, just mix and match. And I caught a blurb on the web, and I lost it so fast I can't give credit. And that kind of thing bothers me, y'all. But anyway, I digress. There was a lady that was going to do a 4, what do we call it, quarter square triangle. So she put 2 pieces together, and she was going to do, she sewed all the way around, and then she cut 2 X's, or 2 diagonals, which is quarter square triangle. Well, she did something fascinating. She sprayed her 2 pieces of fabric with starch and put them right sides together and pressed them dry, and they stuck. And I'm like, oh, back up the truck. I'm going to try that. Well, let me tell you, I did. Cutting these out, I stacked anywhere from 4 to 6 layers of my scrap, whatever size, that I could get this template on. I sprayed it with the starch, and I pressed it. I turned the stack over. I pressed it. Y'all, it works. The starch sticks it together. You can put your template on there, cut it out, use your rotating mat, and nothing moves, so that your pieces are just wonderful, and you're not trying to cut out one at a time. So I was doing 4 or more pieces. It was the bomb diggity, y'all. I'm telling you. I thought I had brought some out here, but I didn't. All of that stuff is in the house. So, like I said, the link to this template is going to be in the description. And it's a scrap buster for sure. Now, the 1/4-inch seam allowance is included on every one of these. So you're not gonna have any problem putting this out. Now, I do recommend, if you get this particular set, and there are several different offerings on Amazon of these scrappy crazy quilt templates. If you get the one with this kite shape in it, you sew this one to this one, then you sew the C to the B, then you sew D and E together, and then flip that over, and your block is complete, all with 1/4-inch seam. So there's that. Lots of fun things going on. Okay, now my friend Becky. This girl is an absolute genius. I love her so much. She is a soulmate quilty. we are going to learn how to cut and assemble this block. I have ladybugs in 2 different sizes. And we're going to do the math and figure out these HSTs, the squares, and the body under the wings. I'm so excited about this. Now, Becky is the same age I am. We're just going to say 70 plus. And she has a lot of her granny's quilt blocks, hand stitched. Oh my goodness. I just quilted on the long arm a pieced top that she used where she put her granny's blocks inside of a pumpkin. It was just absolutely adorable. And but if I counted back semi-accurately, so Granny had to have been born around 1870. So by 1890, I'm sure she was already, starting her family and everything. But she has quilt blocks and patterns that you cannot find on the internet. So they're not copyrighted. I looked for this. I did an intense search for this, and I did not find it. I'm not going to say it's not on there. I'm saying I did not find it. So I'm not able to give anybody but Granny and Becky credit for this pattern. So we're going to play with that. We're going to learn how to do that. I'm just so excited. It is so cute. It is so cute. Okay, so there's that. And then finally, shadow box. Now, Bob Benson on Sewing Parts Online did this pattern. And I was kind of shocked how he did it. Now, he used orphan blocks, and I think that's a wonderful idea. I do not have orphan blocks, but I've got miles and miles of beautiful florals. So I'm going to do a floral framed with the black and the white, and that's going to be my quilt, and it's going to be 3 across and 4 down. These work out. Now, listen up. These strips are 2.5 inches. End of sentence. We do a stitch and flip HST on this corner and on this corner. These blocks can be anything you want, but I will say this. If it's smaller than like 9, the aspect ratio, your strips are going to eat your block instead of accenting them. So the one I'm going to do today is 12.5 inches unfinished. But I have a bunch of layer cake, 10 by 10, that I'm going to do the whole quilt with. So today's sample is just 12.5. And so here it is. And I have already cut a couple of strips. Now, the short strip, you got to pay attention to which direction you're going to stitch this stitch and flip block here. Because this one is going to sit up here like this. Okay? And it's going to get stitched there. This is going to get whacked off, and that's going to fold over. But this one is going to get stitched this way, cut off, and flipped over. But if you put them side by side, pay attention. they're opposite. Let me pull this down here so you can see the pins. See how they're opposite? That's how you're going to have to do it. Now, I am making my right side go all the way down to the end of the block, and then this one will no, I beg your pardon. I am making this one go to the end of the block, and then this one will go to the end of the strip. So let me say all that again. I'm going to put this one on first, and it goes to the end of the square. It'll get trimmed. Then I'll put the long one on the right side. And looking at the graph that I made, your white will overwhelm and make your shadow box effect disappear if you put, okay, we start with a white strip, the block, black strip with an HST, a white strip. We don't put on another white strip. We put the block on. The black, the white, the block, the black, the white. Then we run a white strip across the top and across the bottom, and then we make the next row. We do a white strip, the block, black, white, block, black, white, block, black, white. So I want to lay this here so y'all can get either a screenshot or something. Let me zoom in. Move this over just a little bit. Okay, y'all try to get a screenshot of that and graph it out. You know, your blocks can be whatever you want. This will finish at 2, I'm going to use 10 inch, so 2, 9.5, that's 11.5, 13.5, 15.5. Okay, then this one is going to be 9.5, 11.5, 13.5. You see where I'm going? You know, if you get confused, just use your graph paper. It will make it so easy. Because we don't want 2 white strips in a row between the blocks. Don't want that. We just want a single white and then our colorful block, whatever it is. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew these HSTs, and I have some white ready here to do the strips with. So we're going to take off and do that. I'm going to pause, and I'll be right back. Okay, kids. I did the stitch and flip on the corners. There's my shadow, my floral print, and then I just laid the white strips around so you know what it looks like. I'm so excited about this. If y'all try this, give me a holler. Tell me about it. I want to see. post pictures on your channel, and I'll come look at them. I want to see what y'all are doing. So this is all the news for today. I love y'all to pieces. We're having bad storms right now. Y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of others. And be kind every chance you get. Remember the poor, the widow, the orphan, and the alien. And God bless every single one of you. We'll talk to you later.